Well, Peter, you might be the first person on this planet that has ever shut me up for this long. Good old Heraclitus, I tell you, that wild and crazy guy.
If I came to you and I gave you $10,000 for 20% of the company.
Deal. Yeah. So, is that a verbal?
Younger than us, sorry to say, Joseph.
What, younger than 20?
Joe, we're just trying to help you because clearly you've lost control of the conversation.
I never, you know what? With all due respect, I never had control of the situation. Doesn't mean I'm over, gone. What does kill me makes you stronger.
Look at you. You are insane.
How did I do that?
You're insane. You're insane.
Well, hello, everybody. It is New Year's Eve. It's December 31st. And you're choosing to spend your time with me. I'm choosing to spend my time with you. I'm in Times Square. The revelers are reveling. And if you know Times Square, then you would know Planet Fitness, and you would know that Planet Fitness sponsors New Year's Rockin' Eve. So tonight is New Year's Streamin' Eve, and I have the hat. I might even wear it. There you go. So this is brought to you officially. I'm going to take it off for now. Don't want to mess up my hair. I mean, this is the first time I've actually put gel in my hair in about 6 months. But I decided that, Planet Fitness should, I'm going to give them the sponsorship. I haven't had any sponsors on the show. I kind of like it that way. So I decided, you know what, rather than them pay, because, who needs money in a global pandemic? I would just let them sponsor it. Just give them a free sponsorship. So Planet Fitness, thanks for being part of my life. I love their positioning. I love the whole idea of a judgment-free zone. And I think maybe, wow, what a great message to be in a judgment-free zone, where we actually accept people, where we embrace people, their diversity, their differences, and realize that ultimately we are all kindred spirits at the end of the day. So Jeff Minsky, what a hack. I mean, I know I am, but what are you? Jeff, thanks for spending a bit of time with me tonight. I dressed up for you. There's, what do they say? Formal up top, party below. I don't know. Is that the definition of a mullet? But listen, we're going to have fun tonight. We have guests appearing. One of your favorite guests is hanging out right now. I can see him waiting to come on, and I'm going to mute him. That's going to be the best. I'm just kidding. He actually stayed awake. It's Mr. Tom Morris. Thank you, buddy. I do appreciate that. Now, what can I tell you? First of all, I have so much video loaded up that I'm probably going to crash my own show. So I hope it works out. But, as I always do, if you follow the show, you know that it's National Something Day. Well, today is New Year's Eve. I mean, obviously, right? So it is New Year's Eve. And as always, I wish people happy birthday. Josh from Nestle, Umang, Michael James Colavolpe, known as Kel, who just had a baby yesterday. Congratulations, Kel and Fallon. So happy for you guys. What a beautiful, beautiful couple. David Cushman, who's in Europe, he said he's in Britain, which is not in Europe anymore. He said he may wake up early and say hi. Trevor Hamilton, and then all the New Year's Day birthdays out there on Facebook. Happy birthday to you. I will wish you tomorrow. And then, of course, all my LinkedIn buddies, happy birthday, man. Have a great day. So what are we going to do? Tom Morris is commenting, even though he's in the background. He said, great to see a dressed up Joseph. I've already had my bath and I'm ready to sleep until 2021. And Chip says, very professional looking. So I appreciate that. I dressed up for you. I told you. So what are we going to do tonight? Well, we're going to do a bunch of things. I'm going to have a bunch of special guests, and I'm going to ask them 3 questions. Very simple Corona questions. 1, what is the one silver lining, if any, that you'll take away from 2020? 2, what are your predictions for 2021? And 3, what's your New Year's resolution for 2021, which you can break on January 2nd. But more importantly, you guys can actually be on the show. You guys can be on the show. Don't do it right now because I have 3 guests in the background. But between now and midnight, we're just hanging out. So write down that address, streamyard.com/7R7FKA4CIS. If I know who you are, like if I see someone in the background, just comment. There's a private chat, and I'd like you to come on the show if you want to. And if you want to, why not? Try something different. If you've never been on TV or streamed or on a podcast, or you want to work on your debate skills or your public speaking skills, just come on, hang out with us. Also, drink. This was a birthday gift. As many of you know, I turned 50 last week, and this was a birthday gift from my good friends Dorian David Bombach. I have never had Tomcat gin. It is barreled in American oak casks. And I made myself a martini because I am trying to be very James Bond. And I've never actually had gin that has this color. But it's pretty awesome. So cheers to you guys. I'm drinking, and I hope you are too. Well, Stephen Rubin is here. Stephen Tony, my favorite conservative. Happy New Year to you guys. I hope that first and foremost, you have nothing better than good health. Health, happiness, love, amare, right, according to Moshe Engelberg, and then ultimately success as well. Monif is here. Hey, Monif, cheers to you. Bob Farnham is here. Happy New Year. And Derek, Ryan's remember, marathon, right? Better looking than Ryan Seacrest. Thank you, buddy. Happy New Year to you. Now, we're going to do a bunch of things. I've got a ton of video, like I said. Many of you know that I used to work for a company called Nando's Chicken Land, the taste of Portugal. And this year, most brands were tone deaf. This year, most brands completely screwed it up, right? Whether it was COVID, whether it was Black Lives Matter, whether it was we're open again, whether it's unity, etc. But Nando's never took itself too seriously, and they put out this absolutely brilliant piece of video, and I'd like to show it to you if I may find it. Here it is.
May 2020 be forgot and never brought to mind. May 2020 be forgot. We've had a real cuss time. We've stayed at home and lost our minds. We've been the furthest thing from fine. May 2020 be forgot. It's been a real time.
Save tech to 2020 with our Fed Up Festive Feast. A full chicken, 3 sharing sides, and a 1.5-liter sugar-free drink. Nando's. Fire it up.
For my American friends, cuck means what you think it means. And sec is short for footsec, which means go and go yourself, if you know what I'm saying. Who is here? Naresh is here. Happy New Year to you. And Nicola is here, fellow South African. She must have enjoyed it. She said, bye-bye 2920. So she has clearly leapt into the future, and apparently 2920 sucks just as much as 2020. So sorry about that, time traveler. So Tom, you don't need a comment. Let's just bring you onto the show. Mr. Tom Morris, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Happy New Year in advance to you, Joseph. I only stay up late for you.
You must be absolutely exhausted right now. It's past your bedtime.
Yeah, I mean, philosophy is an exhausting enterprise, so I'm usually out by now.
So I want to ask you a question. What do the philosophers have to say about 2020? Because I've been debating with a whole bunch of people over the last few days, whether in fact we say good riddance to 2020, don't let the door hit you on the way out, or whether in fact we should be actually trying to find the silver linings and realizing a lot of amazing things happened in 2020. One of the most amazing things was the two of us. I call you family now. You're my big brother, and it's been one of the greatest gifts of my life to meet you and to with you and to have this experience through CoronaTV. So, what would a philosopher have to say about 2020? And by the way, one of the things I said even in my soliloquy yesterday is 2020 is going to be a crappy year. 2021 is going to be a crappy year too. It's not just going to miraculously be okay on January 2nd, but I think we're going to be better prepared for it. And so that's a good thing. So what would the philosophers have to say?
Well, it is interesting, Joseph, that initially the philosophers would say, hey, listen, all the sickness is terrible. All the people dying alone in hospitals, that's just, you can't get that back. I mean, we're going through a traumatic and a tragic time for so many people, but for the rest of us who've been able to be careful and so far are healthy, we've had this strange joy amidst all the trauma of being able to slow down and being able to tend to some things that really matter to us that we couldn't get to when we were jetting all over the world like I know you did. And I certainly have done my share of that. And meeting you this year and the entire staff and crew of CoronaTV, well, I guess that is you, but all the after show gang, it's like I have a new family. And that's just a very special thing. And I hope that more people are having that experience and getting to know others in this new way that we didn't use to its full capability before. We always had Skype calls or Zoom calls that were a little boring and you kind of get through it. But now we've turned it into something special, really. It's a kind of alchemy that only happens during tough times. So, I think the philosophers got their togas in a twist for a while, but then realized that, a lot of good can come out of a trying year like this. So I'm just really glad to know you and glad to be part of what you're doing for so many people. And you've introduced me to one of the most interesting crews of people I've ever been around. The guests you have every day, it's a constant learning experience. So this is almost like Joseph Jaffe University, CoronaTV Business School.
Well, I tell you, I'm not the teacher. I'm the student. I'm learning every single day. We have a few comments. Integra Pitch on YouTube said, great to see Tom here tonight. And Tom, how do you pronounce that? Kismol? Kickmol. He said, you both helped me through 2020. I'll tell you one thing. I thought about whether to do a show tonight. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank my wife for allowing me to do the show for 2 hours and to be away from her. And one of the things I realized is if there's even one person at home right now, even one person by themselves, even one person alone, if this helps even one person, then it was worth it. And so I'm thanking her for her selflessness and for her generosity, allowing me to do this. Richie Glassberg is here. He said, hey boys, you look great. Robert Collins says, my good peoples. It's just fantastic to see everyone. It has been a joy. So Tom, we spoke about the philosophers. One of the things marketers love to do is and prognosticators and thought leaders and gurus and ninjas and futurists is make predictions. What's your prediction for 2021?
You know, I think that it's going to be a while before things begin to even resemble what we knew before this past year. You know, it may be 6 to 9 months, it may be a year or two, but I just predict that the seeds we're planting in contexts like this, Joseph. I mean, look at what you started in the spring that has just turned into this beautiful garden of people and personalities and relationships. And we get to know each other now. Those of us who've met on the show, we're often having our own Zoom calls over the weekends, and we're getting to know each other one-on-one. And you've just started this amazing thing that I think is going to grow a lot more in the new year. I think it's like any kind of garden, like any kind of agriculture. You plant the seeds, and it takes a while for the full growth to happen. I believe you're going to see all kinds of amazing things come from this show.
You mean like sunflowers?
Like your sunflowers, right?
I love it. This is my favorite background now. Dr. Harry Cohen, my brother from another mother, right?
Dr. Harry Cohen.
Sun, not the salt. All right, I've got one more question, and then I'm going to let you go to bed, which is, what is Tom Morris's New Year's resolution?
You know, that's been a tough one for me this year. In past years, I've had an easier time about it. I think that one of the things about being a philosopher that's so cool is that I'm setting resolutions all the time. You know, I'm always following Socrates' advice to engage in self-examination. The unexamined life is not worth living, right? And so I'm always finding little ways I need to change. Last year, my resolution was to spend more time playing guitar. You know, I started guitar when I was 12 years old. I played in bands before I became a philosopher, but I let it go for years and years. So, yeah, Robert's hoping that the absinthe is treating me. Maybe that's one of our resolutions, Joseph. We're going to get together in person in some context, and we're going to have a very interesting beverage of some sort that we'll share. That would be a worthwhile resolution.
I will drink to that. I will start off now, and I say cheers to the Morrises in North Carolina, and to a new neighbor, right? Melanie Diesel.
That's right, just down the road. And cheers to the Jaffes in one of my favorite states of Connecticut, where I spent, I think it was 6 years at one time in my life. I was just down the road from you in New Haven.
Well, listen, double PhD from Yale. You won't let me forget it. I'm kidding. That's you are a humble man who apparently has written a book, but that's just a rumor, right?
That's a rumor. Well, you know, the Yale people, they couldn't get rid of me with one PhD. So they said, whatever it takes, you know, to get this guy to leave town and go back to North Carolina. So I could have held out for 3, but I decided 2 was enough.
Well, Tom, you described yourself as the world's happiest philosopher. It is a transferred epithet because you've made me very happy. So I just want to thank you for everything. Happy New Year, and I will see you on Monday for the next show.
Well, again, Joseph, thanks for doing this, man. You're meaning a lot to a lot of people during the week, and especially on a night like this when nobody can do what they're accustomed to doing. You're making the fireworks happen on their screens, and so thank you for inviting me to be a small part of it.
I appreciate it. Sleep well, Tom. I'll see you next week. Well, you know what? That's the wrong one. That's me. That's Tom. He's gone. Robert says, Joseph, like the Men in Black outfit. It's my Chris Cuomo outfit. And thank you, Richie. He said, you've done a great job this year with CoronaTV. It has been an absolute joy. So before I bring on maybe my next guest, I want to remind you, you can be on the show tonight. I'm not joking. I mean, you just have try it. Come on the show and say hi. If I know you, and I probably will know you if you're, watching on one of my channels, come and join the show. Hang out with us. This is really what is happening here, right? This is not me trying to emulate one of the talk show hosts. Someone described CoronaTV as a variety show for the modern era. I like that idea. I like the fact that we can take the best of the old and marry it with the best of the new. So, you know what? Write that down and come on the show. Let's see who's going to be the first person. Before we continue, I'm going to show you another video clip. Maybe, there were a couple of commercials that, to me, just epitomized everything about this year. But I got to say, when we think about 2020, that this one might have been my favorite one.
Satan?
I just don't want this year to end.
Who would?
I just don't want this year to end. Well, too bad, because it's ending in 1 hour and 38 minutes. But before it does, one of our good friends and fellow guests, Mr. Richie Glassberg, is here. Hey, Richie, welcome to the show.
Hello, Mr. Jaffe. How are you tonight?
What's going on, Richie? Thank you, by the way, for being on the show. Thank you for bringing the energy, the passion that literally oozes out of you. Thank you for introducing me to Lodro, to Lisa. I mean, friends of Richie are friends of mine.
Dude, Jaffe, what you've done this year with CoronaTV is phenomenal. It's just amazing. I just got home, went out with, we went and did a socially distanced in the backyard with some friends and had a bottle of wine and came home. We stayed apart from everybody because it's better to be safe, had the mask on and everything. And I just caught Tom Morris, the double PhD and the philosopher, and he's just awesome. I love Tom Morris. You've introduced me to so many incredible people this year. Jaffe, what you've done with CoronaTV is just an amazing thing in the middle of a pandemic. You should be very proud of yourself, pal.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm also proud of the fact Monif is here. Monif, you're on the show. You are the first non-guest to thank you for clicking on the link. Welcome.
Yeah, I think this is crazy. Yes, I have not planned for this, but I'm really happy that I'm on. And yeah, I've heard the praises. I don't think it's enough. What you've done this year is great. And me, actually, I've never seen such a concept online, bringing good people together and, speak about going inward rather than outward. So yeah, it's great.
And it's funny because I had on the show Ryan Fay, and he said we're all living inside out right now in terms of their, like your green screen behind you, like what you see is what you get. This has been a year when we all basically revealed ourselves, warts and all. And in some cases we loved what we saw, and in other cases we didn't. But we embrace it all.
True. I think it's been really easy with you personally. Really, you made it seem easy to open up and speak our minds and be vulnerable online like this. I think it's insane, but yeah, it worked.
Well, I tell you, no matter what happens to CoronaTV, and I have decided, I have committed myself to never becoming the enemy. And the enemy, in my opinion, is when this becomes broadcast, when this becomes only one way, when I don't allow someone to just come onto the show and, I'll figure out a way to make it work with the after show. This will always be a two-way street, and this will always be a community. And if I can play a small role, that role is going to be in demonstrating that you can build a brand, a streaming platform, a show without becoming, a top-down broadcaster, because for me, that's just not who I am.
Look, I mean, Joseph, I mean, one of the crazy things about this year is we've all been put into a box, and for the science and the safety, we have to be safe. But you've given a chance for people to have community. And you know, I'm working hard on a startup. Monif is working on what he's working on. Everybody's working on their life. And the times that I can get to check into CoronaTV, but more importantly, to do the after show and to hear Tom Phillips, and to hear Jan, and to hear, you know, Tom, and to hear some of the other people. I mean, in a time where we've all been sent home, to be able to connect with people is so important. And I think that we all have to realize that we're social animals, and we need to have connection. And I need to meet Monif, and I need to meet you, and I need to talk with Jan, and I need to learn about different things about Plato that I didn't know, because Tom Morris is just so freaking smart, you know. And we need to hear from Lisa and to hear what it was like to grow up with a cult, and we need to hear about from Lojo, right? I mean, Joseph, you've brought so many people to the screen. It's just amazing.
Well, so have you. And by the way, Lisa will be on one of our community shows in January. We're going to move on. Guys, thank you for being a part of this. Maybe we'll see you later if you're still around. But I'm just going to keep it moving. Just great to see your faces. Happy New Year. And to you and your family, health, happiness,
thank you,
love, and success.
Thank you. You too, Jeff.
All right. Well, you know, another previous guest is about to come onto the show, Mr. Cyrus. Cyrus the Virus, as I've affectionately called you, only because you remind me of like a badass, you know, convict, but a good one.
I look like a badass convict, don't I?
Well, exactly. What happened to the ponytail or the... Is it still there, or you had something going on?
No, in fact, I was going to test your IT skills. I Facebook IM'd you a picture of my mohawk that I spent 10 months growing.
Mohawk, yeah,
yeah, and I cut it off the day after my 50th birthday. Which, by the way, happy belated birthday!
Thank you. And by the way, you have a claim to fame, and your claim to fame is
streamed the very first live New Year's Eve from Times Square, which is why I wanted to join you tonight, because it's real now. You know, about in 2005, I was at MSN, and I'll tell you a quick story about that. So Rashad Tabakawala did one of the first deals with MSN Video to bring traditional TV advertising to the web, and this was pre-YouTube. I think YouTube launched 6 months after we did. But the whole idea, and it sounds so antiquated now, considering where we are technologically, but we cut a deal with the Times Square Alliance. And oh, by the way, you inspired me to make a martini. I saw your open with the dirty. And
cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
Oh, this is so dirty. You know, it should be X-rated.
Well, good on you. So in any event, we streamed from the heart of Times Square, and we were making it up as we went along. And in Redmond, we're trying to figure out how do we insert an ad into a live stream. And then we forgot that the host we booked was supposed to be on air for 8 hours. About 6 hours in, needed to relieve himself. And he's like, where do I go and what do I do? And then so I called back to the studio, like, what am I supposed to do when the host leaves? And he says, go find a piece of cardboard and just write, we'll be right back, and put it on the chair. And so, I mean, it was the production quality was nowhere near as awesome as
I have two solutions if I need to relieve myself. One is I have this amazing hat, and there's a lot of depth. But more importantly, I've got one of the greatest reporters and grandfathers, older brothers of web video, Mr. Steve Garfield from stevegarfield.com. Welcome to the show.
Hello and Happy New Year, Joseph and Cyrus. Good to be here.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Happy New Year. Steve Garfield from stevegarfield.com. You reported on the snowstorm. Are you ready to give us a report?
This is Steve Garfield here reporting live from Boston, and I'd like to show you my newest Christmas gift, my favorite. It's Baby Yoda, the cutest and best Christmas gift of the year.
I love Baby Yoda. I still have not watched The Mandalorian,
But you've got to love Baby Yoda.
I mean, you know, I love Baby Yoda. I'm assuming Baby Yoda has something to do with The Mandalorian. I'm just something.
It does. You're right.
Maybe small. All right. So let me ask you, gentlemen, the same question, which is how about a prediction? A prediction for 2021.
I'll jump in and say that 5G is going to introduce so many cool advances in entertainment, interactivity, that a year from now, we're going to be blown away with what 5G brings us.
I think that with everyone being at home and away from each other, so many people have discovered how to be on camera and talk and use products like Zoom and StreamYard. And back in the day, when I first was teaching people how to do video blogging, they were all afraid of the camera and they were afraid of the microphone. But now my nieces and nephews, everybody's a natural. They're all looking at the camera and talking. And I think that this has really been kind of a breakthrough for people to discover how easy it is to be online and communicate, and like you, Joseph, have discovered how to bring people together. And I think part of the reason that it's been so successful is people have felt more comfortable at talking to each other. And one of the greatest things of the year for me has been the Corona TV show, and then the after show, and getting to really have relationships with new people that I've met through the show.
Well,
hey, Steve, I'm gonna say this. So I used to work for Larry King Live, and what I love about Corona TV is when I get the notification, and I'm like, "Oh, who's tonight's guest?" And then it reminds me I'm gonna do my Larry King impersonation for you, and then Joseph can cut me off. It's like, "Tonight on Corona TV Live, Steve Garfield from Boston, Cyrus Crone from Seattle, coming to you on CNN,
and your host."
Anyway, but I love the notifications, Joseph, because every day I'm like, who's the guest and what am I going to learn? And then I have to say to myself, well, am I going to go to LinkedIn or Facebook, or where should I watch it today? Just because, why not? And so you've done an awesome job.
Well, thank you. And Cyrus, don't be a stranger. Come back. I think you are booked for one of the community shows. For those of you that are new to Corona TV, every Friday I now tap into 5 previous guests, because the reality is that this thing we're building, it's too special just to do a one and done. The world doesn't need any more one and dones. The world needs this flow, this fluidity, human connection and relationships. So thank you, Cyrus, for popping in. And maybe I'll see you later as well. And Mr. Steve Garfield, I will see you later as well. Come back with another report. By the way, I want to just say very quickly what I really love. Well, 2 things. One is, got to say hello to Mr. Jeff Baum from Arizona. I did a course with him. What a wonderful guy. So, Jeff, I didn't want to leave you out. And Richie actually added that he was the production manager on the first MTV New Year's Eve show in 1986, live from the Manhattan Center with Weird Al Yankovic. Polka Till You Drop. Love his stuff. Love his stuff. Richie also says Mandalorian is an awesome show. And Adam John, what does he say? Information, good information, had a tail. I guess he's talking about you, Cyrus. I don't know. But he's on.
You know,
we put comments on. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you maybe a little bit later.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Always good to see them as well. Well, I have a little treat for you, which is, let's see. Oh, I'm trying to work out what Adam John was saying. But the actual theme song for Corona TV came from a song that was created by a wonderful talent by the name of Francesco Peruna. I know him as Frank. and he wrote this song in quarantine. He performed it on the show, and I said, well, this is the anthem of Corona TV. He is back with us, and I'm going to welcome him right now. Hey, Frank. How are you?
Well, let me get my mic going here. I'm good. How are you?
I'm all the better to see you. Your song is one of the best, maybe my favorite song of all time. How about that?
That's very awesome to hear. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm happy. I mean, if any writer has any one person say that about any song they wrote, it's
well, because it's not just a song. It's transcended words and lyrics. It has context and meaning in terms of when it was written, who wrote it, and what it has become to me. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but every day I do the show, and I put the show out as an audio. I have a podcast version of it, and every single show ends with the song. So it's just always the last thing someone's going to hear when walking, running, jogging, commuting, traveling, or when we do that again. So I would be honored if you would perform a song for us, and maybe later in the show another one. Whatever you want to perform. If you're happy to do it, you have a guitar in your hand. So I'm not even gonna watch you. I'm gonna actually just let you own the whole screen. And in fact, so I'm gonna give you full screen right now and just take it away, Frank.
Thanks, Joe. I really appreciate you getting in touch with me. Funny thing is, I'm gonna pull the lyrics to my own song up because it's been a while, right? Since the last time I played it for you. Can you hear that guitar? I'm going to put these headphones on too so I can turn things up and not have feedback, all right?
No, I'm going to do that just in case I do want to lurk a little bit.
All right. Here we are. You can hear me?
Perfectly.
All right. Wish me luck.
You don't need luck.
This life is beautiful. The view I have as it tears my flesh from the bone. Oh no, the world keeps spinning round. I always cry even though it isn't allowed. So proud, hear a scream without a sound while everyone is still around. You can watch me dance by myself. My love, such a pretty thing, sparkles as my heart it tears right into. I'm blue, it's dark, but I see the light. With everything left to fight for, we hold in our hands. In the end, store your dreams inside a cloud and watch the world come crashing down. You will find me dancing by myself. The world keeps spinning round. Always smile before you drop to the ground. No sound. This life so beautiful. My dreams are alive and the sky is no match for my shoes. so blue. I will scream without a sound while everyone just stands around. They can't see I'm dancing by myself. You will find me dancing by myself. Won't you join me dancing by myself? This life is beautiful.
Love it. Love it. I'm so honored. I'm so honored that you would perform that song. And you wrote it in quarantine. Adam John says, dancing by myself with you. And Monif says, happy feels all over. It's amazing. It's fantastic. You know, you sang when you were on the show. I mean, if you also sang Rod Stewart's Maggie. I mean, that if I close my eyes,
Country Comfort. I think I did.
Huh?
I think it was Country Comfort. I did. Remember? But it was Rod Stewart. Yeah.
It was just amazing. It's 10:42. Do you want to do another song, or you want to come back later and perform? You want to take it?
I could come back later and do something around. I don't know. I'll be around.
11:30. You want to come back like around about 11:30?
Sure.
But before you do, what's your New Year's resolution for 2021?
I'm gonna release music. So obviously, quarantine happened, and then the school kind of closed down. I've since left the school, so I've been working on my getting my own business going. And I'm gonna release an album or two, as well as get some private students, and just sort of. It's been 2020 has been tough, but at the same time, it's been very revealing and very. I feel like I've just been working on things that I want to work on, just everything, all these things that have been on the back burner because of being so busy all the time with the school. Now I have time to do this, and I have lots of songs in the can. So you're going to hear more,
Time.
So my resolution is to release more music.
Time. I mean, time is the one thing we talk about health. And we talk about time, and it is the one thing that we can't get back, but we can use it to our advantage. Frank, I'll see you back at about 11:30.
Cool. Thanks, Joe. See you guys later.
Yeah, thank you, Frank. That was amazing. That was Francisco Peruna Jr., known as Frank to me. Boom. We heard the word time, right? So this week, we had Ryan Fay on the show, known as Fay. What an amazing story. I hope that this is the Corona bite. Let me play it for you.
The thing my dad always said, when you love someone, the one gift you can give them is time. It's not monetary, it's not things and all this, but the gift you can give them is your time. So if you truly love someone and you truly want to get to know someone, give them your time. And my dad, he's a sage when he says that kind of stuff, because obviously when he's telling me this, he's giving me his time. So I've tried to do that.
Don't be passive about it, saying, oh, it was great to reconnect. Like, make the effort. One of the things that I did early on is anyone that I had any beef with, I tried to just go out and reestablish a connection.
The act of reaching out when there's nowhere to hide. I mean, I'm also more vulnerable than I've ever been because I'm not in a boardroom or a conference room or a fancy office. I'm in my home office. You can see stuff. There's a fan that I don't even like. Like, you know what I'm saying? There, your vulnerabilities. It's inside out now versus outside in.
And you'll notice I referred to inside out earlier. It's just amazing how all of these conversations have stuck with me, have evolved me, have helped me evolve. I'm going to take this opportunity to give you one of my own New Year's resolutions, self-awareness. I need to be more self-aware. I need to make sure that I am more consistent in terms of the person you see on the screen and the person that is off the screen in my home, in the interactions I have with my friends and family. Self-awareness is a new power that I need to create, cultivate, and turn into a superpower. So that is my resolution, and it's one that I hope I won't break, because it's one that I need to earn in order to even have a chance of breaking it. But that's mine. Adam John says that's a phenomenal quote on time. Isn't it just amazing? You know, I have 1 hour and 40. I've got an iMovie file, 1 hour 45 minutes of Corona Bites that I want to release at some point. I mean, it's just unbelievable. 182 guests with these 1 minute clips, these 1 minute highlights. It's just gold, Jerry. It's gold. Now, before we continue, Peter Rourke, Dog is my co-pilot. This is Peter. That's his screen. I don't know where he is, but I know that he's been logged on to StreamYard for hours. Peter, I want you on the show. I don't know. I hope he's okay. So if you can hear me, Peter, come on the show. If I see your face, you're coming on the show. One of the best interviews that, you know, just this man is a saint. He has rescued, he has saved the lives of, I don't know, 14, 15, 16,000 animals that would have been put out to pasture. So Peter, wherever you are, come back to the show. If you're watching, if you're listening, maybe you fell asleep. It's late. I don't know. So let's move on. The next thing that I've planned for you is to talk about two moments that were quite special for me. My birthday. Hold on, Richie Glassberg is back. Richie, what's going on? Why are you back? Did you have something to add?
No. I
just
saw Peter wasn't there. I thought you were screwed without a guest. So I was like,
no. Just I'll call you when I need you. How about that?
That's okay. You
can come back. I mean, this is the thing, right? There are no rules, just right.
There's no rules.
We are the Outback Steakhouse of streaming.
The bloomin' onion of streaming.
We are the French onion of stream. All right, I'll see you later. Maybe I'll see you later. So what I wanted to share was my birthday. Okay, so Seth Godin and Philip Kotler. I am a marketer because of Philip Kotler's textbooks, because of him, and then you have Seth Godin. But here's what I want to do. I want to show you something that's just blew my mind. And by the way, Adam Lefton says, if anyone online is Jerry McGoldrick's contact info, it would be awesome to send him an invite. I bet he'd be happy to sing My Left Hand for us. Richie is already, I can see him. He is already contacting good old Jerry McGoldrick. But let's go back to my birthday for a second. So I had a gift. My gift was Seth Godin and Philip Kotler. And one of the things that Seth did is he, I think, burnt wood 3D printed unbelievable little card for me. And I sent him an email and I said, Seth, please send it to me. And he did. So this is what you saw him on the show showing me, and he sent this to me. But then he did something else. And I'm gonna share this with you, but I'm gonna need two hands to do this. So he sent me this book. Now this book is called This Might Work. I'm not even joking. This is the book, and it says Joseph, and it's signed Seth. Look at me. Look at the color draining from my face. Now, when I say this book weighs a ton, I'm not joking. So I actually weighed it. It weighs 15.1 pounds. 15.1 pounds. This is just an example, a sample of the man's work. And I'm just gonna open up to any random page. Holy moly, this weighs a ton. Let me just read this one. It's called Everyone and No One. Two things are always not true. Everyone likes this, no one likes this. Sorry. If you try to please everyone, the few you don't delight will either ruin your day or ruin your sense of what sort of product you should make. And if you believe the critic who insists that no one is going to like what you made, you'll walk away from a useful niche. One other thing, sometimes it's easy to confuse the small cadre of people I want to impress because my ego demands this is in-group, or that this in-group is important with everyone. They're not the same. So this book is a compilation of his life's work. And I can only hope, and I can only pray that my life's work will fit into a book, a fraction of the size of Seth Godin's. But more importantly, he sent that to me. He sent that to me. I asked him to be on my show on my birthday. He came on the show. He said, I'm here for you. He sent me that beautiful piece of custom art, and then he sent me the book. And I think, we talk about him being a great marketer, but I think it's time that we acknowledge that he's a great man. He's a kind man. He's a gentle man. He's a generous man. And he knows how to surprise and delight. And at the end of the day, I spoke to my son the other day and I said, I'm going to give you two pieces of advice. The first one is under-promise and over-deliver. I said, just everything in life, under-promise and over-deliver. And the second is the power of surprise and delight. We can still surprise people. We can still be surprised. If you do those two things, I don't know why I said those two. I'm sure there are many other things. Your word is your bond. A stitch in time saves nine. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. But those are just the two things that in the moment I wanted to share with him. And I think Seth Godin is a man who under-promises and over-delivers. And he's also certainly a man that knows how to surprise and delight. So I know the picture might go a little bit wonky because I have so many videos loaded up. But I wanted to find the two Corona bites and this was so cool. I asked Seth to ask Philip a question, and I asked Philip to ask Seth a question. So here they are. I'm going to actually ask if you guys will play along with me for Seth to ask Philip a question, for Philip to ask Seth a question. It can be about anything.
Let's see if I think I saw your question earlier. So
what's one question you'd like to ask Seth?
Here's my question to Seth. Is human nature at the gene level selfish or pro-social?
Oh, at the gene level, there's absolutely no question it's pro-social. Anyone who thinks genes are selfish has not read Dawkins' book. They've just looked at the title.
Good for you. That's exactly the answer I was hoping to see. That we are probably pro-social human beings if we grow up under the right circumstances. Not selfish, but collaborative and working together.
Yeah, there's a hardware-software mismatch for sure.
I have to say, in that moment, I wanted the ground to swallow me whole because I was like, I am not worthy to be sandwiched between these two great men. And I love the fact that Philip was the teacher and he was testing Seth, and Seth passed the test. Well, here was what happened when they reversed the roles.
As the person who has godfathered more marketers than any human in the history of the world, what is the most surprising thing someone has done thinking that they were doing something you said was a good idea?
I hope that more people have looked at the other side of marketing as a real treasure. And the other side of marketing is called demarketing. And what I mean by that is we've done too much marketing and not enough demarketing, because that's the only way to save the planet. And just practice the pro-social behavior with respect to the planet. And as you know, the three things we always say is it's profits, people, and planet. But two of them were forgotten.
You know what? What's so amazing about those two little clips, and obviously you can watch the entire interview on CoronaTV.show, you got to look at their expressions. I've looked at it so many times while I was editing the piece. But when Philip is talking and you see Seth, you can see the acknowledgement, the connection, and you can see the smile in Philip when Seth hits the right chord. It's beautiful. It's like a work of art watching two of, the most influential marketers in the world, in the history of marketing, and certainly in my life. Now, again, if you are out there and you want to be on the show, you can come on the show. There's the link. You know what? Let me do this for you. Let me turn it into a scroll. How about that? I don't know if that makes it easier or harder for you, because now you're like, wait, what was it? 7S Streamin, StreamYard.com/7R7FKA4CIS, something like that. Come on the show and come say hi. Tell us your resolution. Tell us what the silver linings were in 2020. Tell us if you are a member of Planet Fitness. Just to be very clear, Planet Fitness did not sponsor this at all. They have absolutely nothing to do with the show. In fact, I can only thank them for not issuing a cease and desist. But I hope that I've made them proud by putting their branding on this 2-hour episode. I will wear their hat again for you. They sent this to me. It was very kind of them. I know I don't know what I look like right now, but I'm a reveler. I'm reveling. I hope I can find someone to kiss at midnight if she's still awake. But one person that I'm definitely not going to kiss tonight, although I will blow her a kiss, is a previous guest. She's been on the community shows, and she is just an absolute joy. She is not just an absolute joy. She's an absolute joins. Jessica Joins, welcome back to the show.
Hey, how are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Welcome, welcome. Are you in your pajamas?
No, I'm not in my pajamas.
I wish you were.
Sort. I mean, it could be, right? I'm like the closest thing it gets to pajamas. I'm in like super leisure wear.
It looks comfortable. You got the Christmas tree in the background.
I love my Christmas tree. I'm gonna be so sad to say goodbye to her. I was like, I'm getting her in the shot. She's gonna be with me tonight.
Well, she is with you, and thank you for spending part of your New Year's Eve with me. I appreciate it.
Of course. And, I love everything that you're doing. Like you're so, to see someone like step into their purpose and have so much passion for it. It's like everything to me. It really, just watching you this year has been a joy for me. So thank you. Thank you.
Well, I think that's when you were on the show, you were talking about all of these things, and you were early in the process. You were one of my earliest guests. And I'm glad we've stayed in contact. Very, very glad.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, you're again like what you're doing with, and I can't wait to see what Corona TV becomes. I think you said you're doing something with it in the future, but watching you like step into this, and I'll totally call it like embodiment of a kind of different, your highest kind of self and your purpose is amazing, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
I'll tell you a little personal story, which was I was meant to speak in Peru this year in May. Well, when I say meant to speak, I was being considered for a speaking engagement, and it came down apparently to 2 people, and I never got the assignment. And I called the host and I said, "Would you mind telling me who actually got the gig?" And they said Bruce Turkel. Now, I'd never heard of Bruce Turkel before. And I just went and checked him out, and he seemed properly legit. I invited Bruce onto the show, and I didn't tell him the story even when he was on the show, only afterwards. And we've become really good friends. And he sent me a text earlier, and I mean, this is just the magic of what this year has been. He just said, "Happy New Year, pal. Here's to a great 2021. Glad you're in my life." And Bruce actually helped guide the rebranding for Corona TV. And he actually said to me, and he was right. He said, Joe, he said, at some point, people are just going to want to stay. The name Corona is just not going to be endearing anymore. Just
No.
want
Everyone's gonna be like, I'm ready to move on from that name.
away from it. So
You're talking about the beer.
he said, even so, he said the name has to change. And I said, I'm so attached to it, but I trust you and I respect you. And if you say it is so, then it is so.
Yeah. Well, and have you landed on a name yet, or is that to like TBD?
No, I've landed on a name.
Oh, have you announced it, or am I like?
I have not announced it.
And you're maybe not ready to, right?
Well, no, because I'm looking to. I will say that at the very latest, the 1 year anniversary of Corona TV will be when I announce it.
Well, I can't wait.
But I'm working on it. It's going to be fun. So Jessica, let me spin the. By the way, thank you to Leo. Fiorico said, "Good job, Joseph Jaffe. I appreciate it. Thank you so much." I always like when I see someone new that's watching or discover the show. By the way, if you guys, oh my God, how did Adam know? It's called Jaffe Jams Jammin' with Joseph.
Totally.
And the URL was available, which is the best part of. So Jessica, let's ask you this question. What's the one silver lining, if any, because I don't want to be presumptuous, that you'll take away from 2020?
Oh, for me, many. I really, I look at this 2020. I feel was very much like a year of revealing. I think, and not to kind of jump ahead with what we're going to talk about, but I really think 2021 is going to be like a new way of being. But there was so much revealed to each and every one of us in 2020 on a collective level, but for us individually and personally. Really, it was, mirroring to us and showing us like stuff that doesn't work, not work. And for me, it was really a message to stop like that trying and striving energy, to stop trying to like make stuff happen, and instead to really operate more from a place of surrender and allow things to happen for me. So that was like a really big aha moment on a really pretty profound level for me, because, my background, and I come from the corporate world, and, it's always kind of been this energy, like you got to make stuff happen. But when I really let go and like let go of the hustle in late spring, all of a sudden like stuff with my business just started to flourish. Like opportunities were just like, I learned that I can like sit and just be and attract great things to me. I don't always have to be out there like this hard energy of trying and striving and all of that. So that was great. And I'd put that under like a balance bucket, right? And just, honoring the time to go within, honoring the time to be with myself. The other great silver lining for me was just, reconnecting with so many people. When something like this happens and, you're confronted with a global pandemic and you're thinking about life and death on a pretty serious way, you start thinking about the people that are important to you. And so just, old friends I connected with, kind of level of meaningful conversations I had with people in this past year was really profound. And, on top of that, I'm a coach, right? So I'm in the service business now, and of really helping people. And it was really an honor to get to show up for so many, I coach women, female leaders, to show up for so many women in some of their darkest moments this year. And it was like the first time I think since I've been doing this work that I was like, wow, I'm really helping people. Like, and I know it sounds so weird to say, but I don't think I had like received that yet and really accepted that. I lead something for the C-suite for women called the Women's Purpose Retreat. It's normally this in-person event. And I did it as an 11-day event just in October, where we did a little bit each day. And again, just like, the amount of sharing, the connection, the crying, the community that we were able to facilitate in this online space was profound. And so I think I'm going all over the place here with you, Joe. So sorry, but it was really like incredible to be able to receive what I've done.
It's 11:05 in the evening. I want
8:05 here in Malibu. We're we're early.
There's no excuse.
Yeah.
I wanted to find one of my Corona bites with my newest friend Melanie Diesel. Diesel. I keep messing it up, but this is what she had to say. To describe it and call it Instagrammable, it's something that I think we get visually, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I think there was an episode of the podcast 99% Invisible, which is sort of about the architecture and all of that in our world, the way our world is visually set up and sort of the stories behind it. They did an episode about how something becomes Instagrammable and what that means to us as a society, to the creators of these things. You know, if you are one of those buildings that gets Instagrammed all the time, like, does that play into your work as an architect, how to create those moments? And I think it's like a lovely intersection of, you know, creativity and marketing and human psychology and the way we document things, that Instagrammable, like, we kind of have a feeling of what that means. I think it's certainly worth acknowledging that it's a phenomenon, and if it's something you do consciously, you know, that's something to be aware of.
Now, I showed that clip, and I wish I had a different clip from her to show, but she said something that was so amazing. We had a conversation about, she said how much she struggled as a mom and an entrepreneur this year. And we discussed the whole continuum of, you know, either you've got to be a really great mom or a great executive, but you can't have both. And then that moved to, you can have it all. You can be a great mom and a great executive. And she was like, that's not true. You know how hard it is to be able to do that. And she basically said this amazing insight to me, which is, she said, you know, everyone said we can have it all, but no one created the systems to support that. You know, we talk about systemic, but in this case, we didn't have the institutionalized systems to support that promise. And she said one more thing that just blew me away. She was like, we bring our pets, or we're allowed to bring our pets to work. We somehow acknowledge that it's not okay to leave our pets at home, but we still haven't figured out the human part. And this was yesterday's show. This has been my journey, which is not just to talk about these things, but actually to be a part or to witness the people that are changing. You are someone changing the world for the better. Melanie is someone changing the world for the better. I'm so fortunate to have met you guys.
Well, look, I think that's one of, you know, there was so much that was revealed this year, and, you know, kind of going off what you said. And I saw, you know, with so many of my clients, I mean, that was the breaking point when this all first happened, just the tears of trying to now be a homeschool teacher and still trying to, whether you're an entrepreneur or have a corporate job. But I think one of the main things that was revealed is that this, and I'm going to talk more corporate, but like this system we have does not serve, you know, many, right? And it has to change. And I know, you know, because I work exclusively with women, I know most of my female clients are like, I'm not going back to that, you know, like, and these are like, you know, CEOs and high powered women that are like, I'm not going back to a situation where I'm at the office every day. It's not happening, you know? So I think a lot of companies have already kind of, you know, taken some proactive measures there, but there's a lot that needs to be done. So it will be very interesting to see what happens. Yeah, you know, but I think it was really one of the things that was so revealed is that it is not set up, you know, for success for many to thrive in the way that they need to.
Well, I hope you will be back on one of our community shows soon. And you know what? I just feel like we're gonna. I will leave you with one thought today, which is, I think we connect. I mean, we were connected on LinkedIn. You said something, and it's been my guest relations strategy is what I call organized chaos, which is I just see someone on LinkedIn, they say something, and I go, that's great. I think she should come on the show. And I actually didn't know too much about you. I had no idea how awesome you were before. But I brought you onto the show because of how awesome you are now, and not in the past. And it was amazing to me to see everyone who kind of came on the show and were commenting and saying how awesome you were. So how awesome you were, how awesome you are, and how awesome you will be as you continue to be this incredible voice. So I just want to thank you. 2020 has given me this ability to develop a friendship and a relationship with you, and I'm very grateful for that.
Oh, well, thank you. You're almost going to make me cry there with being so kind and saying all of that. And I just, I'm wishing so much of the best for you. I love everything you're doing. I can't wait to continue to be part of your journey moving forward.
Well, you certainly will be. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Jessica. Well, that was Jessica Joins, and she sounds like a superhero. Before I bring on an old friend, although I don't think he's that old, Mr. Wesley Faulkner, a little bit of a sneak preview. I'm just going to show him and then disappear him. There you go. He's in the green room. I thought it'd be kind of like a cool thing to do. They're banners that I created over the course of the year, and some of them were just so cool that I couldn't delete them. I just couldn't delete them. So I'm just going to show you them. In some cases without any context. In other cases, I'll mention something about them or the person who said them. And in some cases, I've just forgotten it. But here's one, this idea of being active in culture. And that brands, I forget who said this, brands at their best were able to affect, influence, create, be a part of, be active in culture, define it, lead it. And now they're kind of spectators. Empographic. I think that was a made-up term that I created. This idea of, oh, well, hold on, I'm going to be true to it. I'm going to delete. I'm a hoarder, by the way. I struggle to let go. It probably comes down to like my dad dying when I was 4 years old in 1975. But I'm going to let go of be active in culture. So let me delete that. Oof, that hurt me. Empographic. So this is empathy demographics, right? We have demographics, psychographics. What about empographics? I'm not even sure what that means, but it sounded cool. Goodbye, empographic. I'll miss you. I hardly knew you because that was recent. Okay, I just deleted that. Here's another one. Harmony and sympathetic resonance. This is not my idea, but we had an incredible after show where we spoke about harmony. I think it was Seth Sparks who actually introduced this idea, harmony. And there was another word called, is it not heliographics? Tom Morris would know, but there's another word for what happens when two forces come together. It's just an amazing concept. I'm not going to delete that one because I need to do some research. This was a really interesting one. How do I cancel culture? Have we become a little bit too unforgiving? Wesley's shaking his head. What do you mean? Why are you shaking your head, Wesley?
People who call cancel culture is usually the masses who didn't have a voice before, but now have a voice, and they're speaking very loudly. And I think cancel culture is a correction,
right? It's like
it's a correction. It's not an unjust action. It is that people are getting penalized for things that they should have been penalized all before, and so it feels like it is a negative action from a minority community to the power. The people are in charge, and so that's why it feels like a big assault. Because usually the people who are targeted are those who are in a privileged position.
I think, and I think the context in the show when we brought it up was, if somebody makes a mistake, says something really dumb, should they have an opportunity to right the wrong? Should they get a second chance, or is it a kind of a one and done? And I think you would probably agree that genuinely, if they mess up, they should be allowed the opportunity, if in fact it was a human error.
Well, the thing is, if you think about the theory of cancel culture and look at the actual practice, no one really gets canceled. People have second chances. It's not a one and done.
Redemption,
there hasn't
right?
been a one and done. Yeah.
Beautiful. You see that? Where did I hear you the other day? You were on a show or you were talking and you were saying, I was just smiling. You said something like, I guess it was like, what is your weakness or your Achilles heel? But it was like very like, it was like, and you
Was
said,
it Clubhouse? You're talking about Clubhouse.
yeah, it was Clubhouse. It was Clubhouse. And you're like, you kind of like get into trouble sometimes. And I was like, but that's why we love you, man. That's why you are you.
Yes, I also said that it is self-selecting. So those that get offended by my nature of like pouring my guts out right in front of you, those people run away. But other people who appreciate it, our bond becomes that much closer, that much faster, and that's what I appreciate. So it cuts both ways. It's a positive and a negative, and I love being myself. I love being very transparent, and it's a hindrance, and it's been helpful in terms of our relationship.
Well, and certainly our friendship as well. Let's bring our Planet Fitness frame on. Remember, they are the unofficial sponsor of tonight's New Year's Streamin' Eve. There you go. You clearly are a member of Planet Fitness, and you know they've got a great CMO, Jeremy Tucker. He was on my show. Just a wonderful guy. I might show his Corona bite later, but I want to know two things from you today, Mr. Wesley Faulkner. You're a guy who knows a thing or two about social media and technology and trends. It almost feels like predictions were put on hold this year. Like we're going to say 2021 is the year of AI. It's the year of programmatic native AI. It's like, shut up with all the technology. We just want to survive. But what are your predictions for 20? Do you have any predictions for 21?
I do. One of the things that we had to prepare to be on here is a prediction and a recap, and mine is kind of like the same rolled into one. So this year we've seen the pandemic, of course. We've seen racial tension and uprising. We've seen a lot of people who have lost work and a lot of people who have maintained work by being able to go remote. And also one of the largest drops of women in the workplace. And I think with the mental stress, with the dealing with the unknowingness of the future, people who have been in work and jobs have been either scared to lose their job, but also trying to keep up with their home life and their work life, have tried to find a way to juggle that and then also expect their employer to be flexible. So with all of these constraints and people coming with mental anguish and time management, I feel that next year, the economy is still going to be pretty much K-shaped, where if you're making money, you're still making money. If you're losing money, you're going to still be losing money, probably not as much. But in the tech space, especially, it's going to be up and to the right. And I feel that when companies grow, they're going to be also hiring. And so the criteria of what is an acceptable workplace is not just what's in the pamphlet. It's not just salary and healthcare. It's going to be the whole shebang. Work-life balance. It's going to be, can I work with, still have time with my family? If they interrupt me during the time, is it okay? Because we're going to be working from home. I have to work from home. It has to be remote. I think also with the focus on diversity, like if you look at what's going on at Google, they're having like a really, really hard time with diversity in the news. And with the outsized unemployment of women, I think women are going to be a really easy target to try to beef up diversity and inclusion for a lot of companies. So I think the criteria there and the courting there would be for women to get into a workplace and for women to be able to demand better accommodations and better pay. Because it's one of those things that have come due that I think will actually be a center point and a way of highlighting progress in a company. When a company has made it and that they feel enlightened, that's going to be the next signal that they have been listening and they're trying to bring people in.
Monif says, I love these insights, totally relate. I appreciate you know that and everything you have to say. And I think 2021 is going to be a great year for Wesley Faulkner, because your voice has always been strong and resonant and clear. And I think the world has maybe is catching up to you. And I think 21 is going to be a year where people that have always spoken the truth will continue, but they will have an amplified platform and people will listen to them. And certainly people should be listening to you. But Wesley, before you go, how about a resolution? Not a work one, a personal resolution.
Well, I think last time I was on a show, I was talking about how you need to bring your whole self. And so that is my continued goal for 2021, is to be able to bring my whole self, talk more about mental illness, talk more about physical health, and talk more about my struggles, both personal and professional, and my aspirations. I hope to put more of myself out there next year, to be more unrestrained, to find my voice, so that I don't just put all these details out there, but I can string them together, tell a story, make it coherent, make it relatable. So I'll be working on my voice for 2021, definitely.
Well, you've got 38 minutes to prepare for that, because it all begins in 38 minutes. The year of
that's what I'm here. This is my warm up.
The year of Wesley. I appreciate you popping by tonight. Tonight was interesting. It was maybe the first time that I was doing a 2-hour episode to see how that went. Obviously, I couldn't resist the opportunity to do something on New Year's Eve. And, for me, I look at this as a piece of art, right? So this is my canvas, which is, can I put on a show from my home office sequestered in, in Connecticut, and do something special and meaningful, but it wouldn't have been the same without you. So Happy New Year to you and your family. And I will see you on one of the community shows.
And I'm excited to hear what your plans are for next year with changing the format with this show. I would love. I'm really eager to see how this evolves.
The format might not even change, but the
name's changing.
Huh?
The name's changing.
The name is changing, and the format will probably evolve as well. Yeah, I mean. But I do love the interview style. I think that must continue. And look, I've been very very open about inspiration, right? Tim Ferriss, Howard Stern, Joe Rogan, in terms of, maybe sometimes Joe Rogan less the content. For me, it's more Ferriss, less Rogan, but long form. Howard Stern is just an incredible innovator. Bill Maher's approach has been a very influential one for me. The way that, the monologue, I have a soliloquy, the guest. I haven't mixed up guests, but then my panel is like the community show. The after show was a little bit inspired in part by that. So playing around with stuff, and all I know is you'll be a part of it.
I would love to get, like you're talking about, cancel culture, and of course I had a very strong reaction. I would love to be able to be like on a pro-con show in the future. If you put an issue, I would love to be against someone.
Consider that done. And by the way, the pro-con is more about reclaiming fair and balanced, reclaiming the fact that how do you bring together two opposing points of view with respect, and the answer is you need someone in the middle, what I call the Supreme Court of Truth. You need someone that's going to rule and say, we've heard you left, we've heard you right, or we've heard you A, we've heard you B. Here is the ruling. It may be A wins, it may be B wins, it may be both of you win, and it may be neither of you win, and it may be 10% of A and 90% of B. But here's the ruling, and this now becomes the law. Boom, stamp it, 3D print it, and this is now considered to be the truth. So, Wesley, Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year. See you on the other side.
See you in 35 minutes. That was Mr. Wesley Faulkner. What an absolute, how amazing it's been just to have everyone drop by. I just want to thank everyone who has dropped by. This is your last chance. It's not really your last chance. You've still got 30 minutes. But we're going to have Frank back on the show soon. If you want to pop by and say hi, answer one of the 3 questions, or just ask a question of me, come on. I can see that you guys are still on. So someone who's never been on before, take the plunge. Maybe you've been drinking, but not too much. Just try it. Go to Chrome, type in StreamYard.com/7 blah, 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 and come onto the show. And while we wait for Frank to get set up, let's find a couple more banners to purge. This was from Faith James. It just is. It is what it's not it is what it is. It just is. The truth. It just is. It's not it is what it is what it is kind of a resignation, but it just is. This is it. This is the truth. This is the word. The word is spoken. And the word is truth. Faith, I have to delete that now because it just is deleted. This was Jeffrey Hazlett, right? This was his benchmark, his litmus test when he was CMO of Kodak and other companies. He always asked the question, is anyone going to die? That was the litmus test. If not, there were ways around it. There were ways of dealing with it. But, it's just advertising, right? So is anyone going to die? Just died. So that's gone. Forensic listening and listener question. This was Murray Nossel, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it was Warren Berger. Just 2 flippin' incredible interviews. Go back and find them. This idea of listening is almost as powerful, if not more powerful, than talking or asking. So instead of asking a question, sometimes you ask a question, you answer a question with a question, but listen a question. It was just me formulating thoughts in my head. And here's one more. This is 2 more made up words for me. Opportunism. Not opportunism, opportunism. It's what happens when it's like social dipity, serendipity meets social media. But opportunism is what happens when you find these surprise and delight opportunities that exist at a human level. So I'm going to delete that one as well. Frank, are you ready for your return?
Sure.
There you go. You're back. What you been doing while I've been babbling on New Streamin Eve?
I've been watching a bit. I just take myself off the little camera because I get tired of looking at myself at every move I'm making. So
we've got time for one more. But which question did I ask you earlier? Did I ask you for a news resolution? We know, right? You're going to put out more music. By the way, when those albums come out, you know where to come and promote them because you will always have a home at Coronaville. But let me ask you: did you give us a prediction for 2021?
I didn't. Well, I think it's going to get better. Like someone else said earlier, it isn't going to be. I don't think it's going to be for a while. I think there's still some difficult times ahead over the next couple of months. But I think as the weather starts warming up, I think somewhere in the middle of the summer we're going to start to see a crack. I think the virus is going to slowly start to get under control. It would be nice if everybody wore masks all the time. But I think that's going to kind of by the end of the year, maybe we'll see the light at the end of the tunnel as far as the virus in the summer, and then maybe by the end of the year it'll be done. My predictions, I think things are just going to get better overall in due time. I think our government's going to operate at least at an operative level, so that I think people are going to pay attention to what needs to be getting paid attention to, and maybe some of the musicians will come back out and play some songs for you. There's a lot of people I know who are just waiting, trying to do things, but there's no real living to be made for us except for teaching and other things. I've been doing some other things.
We've missed the music, but fortunately we have some of it tonight. So Frank, what song would you like to sing?
So I was going to play a song when I stepped out before, and I changed my mind, and I've I've been spending my time in between going over this other song. This is a song that I did. I did some video editing for a local not-for-profit music school in Bridgeport this season. They usually have an annual fundraiser that they do live, and I was going to direct that for them. And then COVID hit, and so the plans changed. So basically, I became the video editor for the school, for the neighborhood music school, which is a school for kids who can't afford to take music lessons, and they've been around a long time. And so I also contributed to the song, and this is a Simon and Garfunkel song. I'm sure you'll recognize it as I get it started. All right. It's a little on the difficult side, but I think it's about helping people. So here I go. Oh, crap. This is hard. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I'll dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get tough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on the way. See how they shine. when darkness hold on. See how they shine. Oh, and if you need a friend, I'm standing right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your
Yeah, you nailed it. That was those was some tough notes, and the song and the way you perform the song sums up 2020 in a nutshell. You know, perfectly.
That's kind of with the song, you know, it's such a strong song, you know, and the guitar playing is what really gets me. It's a lot of chords, but yeah, it's such an amazing song, and it's just what it says. You know, there's 3 different scenarios, you know, 3 different people that he seems to be addressing in the song. There's some thing online about the meaning that I'm going to read. I never really looked up what Paul had to say about it, Paul Simon, but obviously one of the greatest songwriters of all time, and it's just such a strong tune. I really appreciate you letting me come on here and do it.
You are welcome. To you, your family, Happy New Year, and I wish you health, happiness, joy, love, and much deserved success. You know, on this entrepreneurial road, from one entrepreneur to another. You know, there are bumps, there are bruises, but working for yourself, and you know, is one of the, you know, it's tough.
I heard something great about it. Working for someone is really easy in the beginning, but then over time it gets harder for all the various reasons we know when you work for someone else. And working for yourself is harder in the beginning and then gets easier.
Yeah.
It's what I've heard, you know, and I've done it before. So
that might be the Corona bite for tonight. Well, Frank, Happy New Year. If you're
same to you.
I'll see you in 22 minutes. I appreciate so much you coming in and creating the variety in this show tonight. So thank you.
Thank you, and Happy New Year to you and your family and everybody else who's watching.
See you
Have a great
around.
2020.
Bye, Frank. That was amazing, and I'm so glad that he came in. So my wife said, "Up the energy." I don't know what she wants. I don't know. I mean, I've switched from gin. Maybe the gin is making me love this bottle. By the way, this is called Navigator. One of the things that I decided if I wasn't going to do Corona TV was that I was going to put out a coffee table, an Instagrammable coffee table book that just judges wines based on nothing but a label. Nothing but a label. Because honestly, I don't have the first clue about tannin and, you know, canon and, you know, all this stuff. I mean, I swirl it, I smell it, I do all these weird things, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing, you know. And you could probably give me a box wine and I would think it costs $500. Now you know. But as a marketer and as a creative person, I do love this one's great. It's like can you hear that? It's awesome. Oh, look who's here. Oh my God, Jan Zlotnik. Jan, are you coming onto the show? Where are you? You were meant to be reporting in from New Jersey or something. So Manif said, start with the hard part, I say. Exactly. I mean, I love that song. Jan, here is the URL. I know what Jan's trying to do. He's trying to own midnight. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to time his entry to be on the show exactly at midnight. You're not going to have your wish. I am doing the countdown all by myself. No, I don't know. Maybe I would. Jan wrote a book. do I have the book here? I mean, I do have the book, but am I allowed to go off screen? You know how I can do that? I can show you one more clip. Let me find you one more. You know what? I'm going to show you one more commercial from 2020 that I just absolutely loved. Nailed it. Nailed it.
We're never alone. And that is our strength. Because when we're doubted, we'll play as one. When we're held back, we'll go farther and harder. If we're not taken seriously, we'll prove that wrong. And if we don't fit the sport, we'll change the sport. We know things won't always go our way.
And the world's sporting events are postponed or cancelled.
But whatever it is, we'll find a way. And when things aren't fair, we'll come together for change.
We have a responsibility
to make this world a better place. And no matter how bad it gets, we will always come back stronger. Because nothing can stop what we can do together.
I mean, Nike nailed it, right? As they always do. It just is. Just do it. Just do it has always been my mantra in life. So here we are, 18 minutes from midnight. No TV for me. This is the only screen that I've needed tonight. I saw this earlier today. Before I agree to 2021, I need to see some terms and conditions. But do we really need those terms and conditions? Or I think I saw this wonderful comment from Adam Lefton, who said, the virus is not what will be the end of us. It's the loss of civility. The big question for 2021 is whether or not there will be a return to civil discourse. And the answer, Adam, is we have the power. We have the power to make a difference. We have the power to change the world. We have the power to change our lives. We have the power to get a gym subscription to Planet Fitness. And again, they are not a sponsor. They did not pay anything. If anything, they would have preferred not to have been associated with tonight's show. But I just decided, spread the love. We have the power to pay it forward. Here are some thoughts and reflections that I had when I look back at 2020. This was a year where I celebrated my 50th in COVID, right? This was a year when my son had his bar mitzvah in COVID. I wonder if you had a life event in COVID. Sadly, a lot of us had the worst kind of life change this year. But many of us had to celebrate joyous occasions, births, marriages, bar mitzvahs, 50th birthdays, anniversaries, and we made the most of it, and we figured it out. And, I had a thought the other day. It's a weird thought. It's a silly thought, but bear with me for a moment. And I said that I actually pity people that had a job this year, that had a corporate, salary, regular check coming that really didn't change their lives or didn't have their lives changed. Did they feel? Did they change? Did they experience? Were they changed? Will they go back to their old ways, their bad habits, their road rage? Or, will they be touched like we all have been touched this year? So, if I asked you, did you go through a personal event, a major event? The answer is, well, of course you did. We've all gone through this event, and we've all gone through this event together. Every person on this planet has gone through this event this year together. how much more unified do we want? How much more unity do we need? How much more, we talk about signs from God, heavenly moments or divine intervention. This has been the divine intervention. This has been the sign. And we have the power. Each and every one of us, we have the power. We are the world. And I don't mean that cliched, we are the world, but we are the world. If I die, we all die. You die. You're no more camera, This. Or not. Or we can just bring it all back to life. And we can choose to make that difference. We can commit to our personal health and hygiene, our physical health, our mental health. We can pay it forward. We can be humble. We can be selfless. We can be kind. We can be generous. We can live a life filled with love. And we can change the world truly. Tonight, I had a conversation and I was asked this question. We'll be asked, and we'll think about this in years to come. Why didn't we sleep better in 2020? Why didn't we? I slept terribly this year. Terribly. Woke up throughout the night, barely could get past 5 a.m. in the morning, had to switch on TV and see all the bad news. But maybe in about 13 minutes, we'll sleep like a baby. We'll sleep like a baby because we know that the next day and the day after that and the day after that is a day filled with just endless promise and potential, where we truly, truly can live the life that we always imagined. Monif said that was scary. What, the idea of everything just detoxing or unplugging? Well, hopefully I surprised and delighted you, Monif. Thank you for sticking around all the way to the end. So I don't know if Jan is still here, but for those of you that want to come onto the show, let's end it with a bang. We've got about 12 minutes to go. Come on the show, damn it. What do I have to do? Come over to your homes and find you? We still don't know what happened to Peter Rourke. There he is. I mean, there's his home. Peter, come back to one of our community shows. You were the first on the show tonight, even before me, and then we never saw you again. But you were missed, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to say what a great, great guy you are. Let's see if I've got one more video to show you as we wind down this 2-hour affair. You know what? I'm actually going to play for you my seated soliloquy from yesterday. I was actually recently asked on a podcast the following question. If you could go anywhere in time, forward or back, well, where would you go? My first answer was I'd go back in time about 20 years and purchase as much Apple, Google, Amazon, and Netflix stock that I could. But my actual answer was nowhere. Going back in time would imply regret. And there's no point in living in the past or regretting any decisions you've made or didn't make, because you can't change the past. But wait, you say, well, as my 13-year-old said and pointed out, alluding to his extensive knowledge of metaverses, alternative universes, time and space continuums, and the like, what if you could change the past? And if so, would that alter the entire world? Butterfly effect, so to speak? Surely a little bit of stock purchases couldn't hurt. I mean, most congressmen do it anyway and get away with it, right? So let's assume I could visit the past and make a few changes without ripping up the current pearl of a year that is 2020. I guess I'd start off by going to Wuhan and declaring that bats were not great this time of year. But again, my answer was nowhere. I wouldn't want to change a thing because everything that has happened or didn't happen to me has made me who I am today. And that is not a perfect human being by any stretch of the imagination, but it has given me the only thing that counts: an incredible wife, 3 amazing children, and a dog. It has given me the opportunity to reinvent myself during a global pandemic. How many people can say that? It has given me my life, and my life is so uniquely mine. Why would I want to change any of that? I did add at the end of the interview that perhaps the only visit I'd make would be to 1975 to hang out with my dad just one more time, or at least to be able to capture the moment. Again, not to change the past, but maybe just to remember it with only fond memories. So as we wind down a really shitty year, I'm expecting 2021 to still be shitty, but I'm prepared for it, or better prepared for it than I was a year ago. There will be unprecedented triumphs, including reuniting with loved ones who have been apart from us for just too long. And so instead of moving forward in time, let's look forward to a time when the things that really count matter, and the things that really matter count. Happy New Year to all of you. Well, if you've made it this far into the episode, into the stream, I will ask you one more time. Come on the show. Come and count down with me. Manif is here, and he's going to be counting down with me. Manif, I'm bringing you back in a few minutes. Let's see who else is out there. Why not be on screen, and we can all count down together? My wife was texting me, by the way, and she said, sing, 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 sing. She was referring to singing with Frank. And the problem is that it doesn't work that well. We still haven't figured out the lag. But boy, oh boy, did I want to sing with him. I do love Simon and Garfunkel. I was looking at the lyrics. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I'll dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Frank, sorry for butchering that song, man, but come off mute. We're in the final 6 minutes.
That was great, yeah.
Oh, that was great, Joe.
Even we're even going to bring the ghost of Rourke onto the show. Anybody else who wants to come on and count down with us? I want to read what Jan had to say. He said, enjoy, wishing you a built to not suck year, Joseph. You made it a hopeful one for so many people. Thank you for your remarkable work in creating the show, Corona TV. Love and peace to you and your family and the Corona TV family. Leslie, Joey, Bob, Steve, Ted, Wendy, Faith, etc. Yeah, it's been an absolute joy. Well, guys, Peter, in absentia, Manif, Frank, we've got it's just us, man. Five minutes left, 6 minutes left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was great, Jeff. I always admire how you think of the journey of the listener. How you plan the where you take us, like how you take us in different places, step by step. I really enjoy being here.
Well, let me tell you, sometimes I'm not really sure where I'm taking you. I'm being taken there with you as well, and that's what makes this so awesome as well. So we've got about 5 minutes to go. If you guys are still watching, let us know you're out there. Comment, send me a text. I'm trying to see what else I've got for you. I didn't plan, as always, I didn't plan too much because I wanted to just see where, to your point, Manif, where it would take us. We discussed Instagrammable and deleting that one. A term that I actually came up with yesterday called social media. Not social media, but social media. We need to slow it down. We need to slow down. We need to detach and detox from the hustle. Seth Godin talks about the industrialists and the hustlers. The world does not need hustlers, and the world does not need industrialists. The world needs human beings that can create useful, meaningful, relevant products that work, that deliver what they were what they promised, that under-promise and over-deliver, and that surprise and delight. So, guys, over to you. My wife's not going to come on camera, but she's here to count down with us. Here we are. We're 4 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. Thank you for spending this time with us. We're ushering in a new year. We're ending a decade. It's not just ending a bad year, but it's ending an entire decade and ushering in something new.
Yeah, I think this is funny, actually. Every decade you'll hear these theories about the end of the world. But this year, after the corona pandemic, nobody's even talking about it, because I think it's like we've already passed that stage.
So with 2.5 minutes to go, we're gonna count it down. I am gonna end this show. I normally end, how I end this show, with a guy who is a close friend of mine. He's an ally, a confidant, Chuck Norris. He's going to give us a premature Chuck Norrism tonight.
You are Chuck Norris approved.
He's not actually referring to you, Manif, or you, Frank, or even myself. He's referring to us all. We are all Chuck Norris approved. This has been a crazy year. It has been a year. Think about this for a second. We began this year. Think about where we were last year this time. Did we have any idea, any clue what was coming? Nothing. And here we are. And that's why, I leave you guys today with this thought, which is, and I'll repeat what I was saying before, which is 2020 was shitty. 21 is going to be shitty too, but it's going to be less shitty, but we're better prepared. We're better prepared. We are wiser. We are smarter. We have more grit. We have more we have conquered more adversity. We are resilient as a people. Yeah. Here, everywhere, we're more resilient, and we will overcome, but only if we do it together. So CoronaTV will be streaming live every day, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, so that you can have lunch while listening to a bit of CoronaTV. If you're on the West Coast, while you're having your muesli or granola. If you're in the UK having your pint, CoronaTV is there for people with one goal and only one goal, and that is to help. So guys, are you ready for the countdown? I'm looking at the time here. Hold on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year,
everybody!
We made it.
Happy New Year, L'chaim. No.
L'chaim.
Thank you for everything. Adam, you are welcome. He said, Happy New Year, everyone. Well done, Joseph. Frank, Manif, have a great night. Thank you for being part of this night.
You too.
You're welcome. Oh, well, that's it. Thank you to Planet Fitness for not suing me. And I hope the guys there liked it. Let's show their logo. one more time. Get into shape. My wife's on camera, finally. Do I get a kiss? So it was all worth it. A 2-hour stream just to get that kiss. Take care of yourselves physically and mentally, and recognize that your physical health impacts your mental health. Get into the gym or do push-ups, sit-ups, but it is really, really important. All right, guys, have a great night. I will be back on Monday. Let us leave you with, you know what? I'm going to leave you with anything. Good night. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Love you guys. Bye-bye.